Hello and welcome to the West Point Society of DC and National Capital Region 2021 Virtual Founders Day in celebration of our alma mater's 219th anniversary. I am David Halverson, President of the Society and Master of the Ceremonies for this video jamboree. What better way to commemorate such a unique time in our society's history and our lives than a short video in which we can pay tribute to our society members and check in with our Rockbound Highland Home. I want to thank last year's sponsors and all the 2020 Founders Day donors and members who decided to donate their ticket costs to the Society. Your donations will go down towards making our comeback Founders Day Gala in 2022 an epic affair. At this time, I would like to recognize not only our Society's oldest living graduate, but the Association of Graduates' oldest living graduate, Colonel Ray Renroa, the class of 1940. Ray turned 104 this year. Congratulations, Ray. In the spirit of our long gray line increasing from day to day, we are honored with Megan Gould, class of 2020, graciously agreed to speak as our youngest Society graduate. She hails from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, Company I-2. Megan, up to you.
Hi, my name is Megan Gould. I'm class of 2020. I was an I-2. Go Moose! Going to West Point the first time with my mom, and we came on a weekend where they were doing hours, and I found out that 100 hours equal a century woman. And I just remember looking at my mom and I'm like, Mom, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know in every bone in my body I'm gonna be a century woman. And sure enough, plebe year, century woman. My last choice was being Buckner squad leader. I was like, on my grave, I'll never go back to Buckner. When I was a squad leader at my favorite place, we had one of the water buffaloes get tainted with dysentery. So a whole company of us were puking our brains out for at least 24 hours. And that was a lovely experience. There was two options, voluntold options. You could either do the regular CLDT and love your life, or you could do CLDT at Fort Knox with the ROTC students. At that point, the Army was thinking that they want more of an inclusive commissioning program training. So my year was the guinea pig year. 40 of us cadets did our rifle and I think land nav at West Point, and then the rest of the time of CLDT we did at Fort Knox in an integrated program, versus like the rest of the cadets, the lucky ones, spent normal CLDT. But so that was an interesting experience. Fort Knox is hot, sweaty, muggy. But then I went to CTLT at Fort Hood. I was shadowing an MI lieutenant, and she was great. PT kicked my ass. We had heard rumors about this pandemic going on. Everyone was allowed to go on spring break. During spring break, they kept sending us emails, contacting us, saying, hey, come back on this date, but then it would keep getting pushed off the next day. So then at one point, it was like 1 or 2 days before spring break ended, they're like, hey, everybody go home. So then all the cadets had to now change their plane tickets from wherever internationally to then go home, which it just turned out to be indefinite for everybody except the firsties that just came back for the 2 weeks of quarantine and then graduated in whatever that ceremony was. They had a lot of deliberation. The dean issued more of a flexible grading standard where, if you're in a home environment that doesn't afford you the resources or whatever to get something done in time, the professors were, a memorandum got sent out and professors were told to be more sympathetic and empathetic when it comes to grading. We were all really disappointed that graduation was going to be on the plane, because we've been at West Point 3 years, every year sitting in on graduation, wishing that was you. Seeing all the families everywhere, it was definitely hard. We did on the plane, obviously everyone was 6 feet apart. There was no families allowed to be there. So it really was disappointing that, I was really looking forward to saluting POTUS, turning around and trying to find my mom or family. But we were all packed up with our cars, prior to graduation. So after graduation, everyone just drove home. So it was alone, or unless like some families were able to afford a hotel off base or whatever. But again, what is the percentage of people that can do that? What's the percentage of people that can travel during this pandemic? So it's definitely more lonely, but either way, we all tossed our hats and greatest moment of our life. We weren't able to have them in person. What everybody did is they just had their friends and family do it while at home. So we were all supposed to get commissioned on May 23rd. So what people did is they did the virtual commissioning ceremony, and everybody was on Zoom. And then everybody had their private commissioning ceremonies to the side and posted photos with their family. So everybody came back those 2 weeks as second lieutenants. I'm really excited to be the youngest grad, super surprised about it, but I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to represent my class, and I'm just really grateful for the network that I'm building within the DC Society. There's a really awesome core group of people that I will always keep in my corner for the rest of my life. I think that's a unique thing that West Point offers you is such like-minded people that are loyal. Stay safe, wear a mask, and beat Navy.
Thank you, Megan, for enlightening us all on how the Corps has. Each year we enjoy a larger and more diverse society. We have close to 100 young graduates in our society from the classes of 2010 to 2020 and are truly looking forward to what these bright, driven individuals will accomplish. In the spirit of accomplishments, we were finally able to safely award the 2020 Frederick W. Castle Memorial Award and our Society's 2020 Distinguished Members Award winners at a recent luncheon.
Members of the Society, and thanks for all you've done.
Each year, the West Point Society of the District of Columbia presents the prestigious Frederick W. Castle Memorial Award to the USMA graduate who has distinguished himself or herself in an exemplary manner of the ideals of West Point in either military or civilian capacity. The award was established by Ben Castle, class of 1907, as the first president of our society. It was in memory of his son, Fred Castle, class of 1930, who was killed on an air mission during the Battle of the Bulge on Christmas Eve, 1944. As a brigadier general commanding the 4th Bomb Wing, Fred Castle took control and deliberately gave his own life to save his crew and was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions. The primary objective of the Castle Memorial Award is to recognize a graduate whose outstanding qualities of character, distinguished service, and stature draw a wholesome comparison with the qualities that West Point strives in keeping with its motto, duty, honor, country. The Castle Award winner is one who has served our country well and who has also achieved success in a second career outside the military fields in either such things as education, ministry, medicine, science, or public service. The 2020 Frederick W. Castle Memorial Award recipient was Lieutenant General retired Dave Oley, class of 1968, for his outstanding military and civilian service to our nation, his passion for West Point as an institution, and his dedicated and demonstrated adherence to duty, honor, country since he left West Point with the class of 68 on the 5th of June 1968. Congratulations, David. The West Point Society of the District of Columbia and National Capital Region presents the Distinguished Member Award to West Point graduates who have made significant contributions to West Point, the West Point Society of the District of Columbia, and their class or community. We are honored to award the 2020 Distinguished Member Award to Colonel Mike Pfeffers from the class of '82 and Colonel Frank Finelli from the class of 1979. Unfortunately, Colonel Pfeffers passed away in January of 2020, so his wife Cynthia and his father Bob accepted the award on his behalf. Colonel Pfeffers loved to be part of the Long Gray Line, so please join me in a moment of remembrance to honor his legacy as he leaves. Well done, Colonel Pfeffers. Be thou at peace. Cheers to our awardees. Thank you, gentlemen, for your continued service to this great society. The past year has been a difficult one for our country and our society. But though through the hard work and the strong resiliency of our members and volunteers, we have continued to adapt and grow stronger. Our alma mater is no different. From virtual learning to graduating the class of 2020 on the plane without family members, to the whole new way of conducting Beast Barracks, and for the class of 2024, West Point has not missed a beat. I would now like to introduce the 60th Superintendent of the United States Military Academy, Darrell Williams, class of 1983. Go Army, beat Navy.
Greetings from West Point and happy Founders Day. Sorry we couldn't be there in person with many of you. I'm honored to join you and thousands of fellow graduates around the globe, albeit virtually, as we pause to celebrate the proud heritage we all share. The heritage of not only being soldiers in the world's greatest army, but also the heritage of the shared experience that is West Point, and the kinship we share as members of the Long Gray Line. Since 1802, we've had the honored duty of preparing leaders of character for America's Army. Leaders who will live honorably, lead honorably, and continually pursue and demonstrate excellence. Ready to fight and win in the crucible of ground combat. Our battle against COVID continues here at West Point, but we're leading the fight, overcoming the many challenges of the pandemic. Challenges that have made our cadets stronger and more resilient and cohesive. Most importantly, we're excelling and winning the fight, thanks to the great work of the West Point team, the tremendous support from the Army, and the support from our alumni. Our deliberate, disciplined, and comprehensive approach throughout the pandemic has allowed us to not only conduct in-person education and training, but also athletic competitions, military training, and many of our traditional events such as Branch Night and the annual Sandhurst competition. And we recently took another major step toward defeating this virus with Operation Immune Night, our comprehensive plan to vaccinate the Corps, staff and faculty, and the extended West Point community. We started putting shots in arms in January with the goal of vaccinating the entire West Point community. While COVID required us to be creative and innovative in how we conduct daily operations and our leader development program, it did not change our fundamental mission, sustaining Army readiness by educating, training, and inspiring leaders of character. We are still developing leaders guided by the Army's people first and winning matters philosophies, and more importantly, by the values of our Army and the ideals of this institution that have stood the test of time for 219 years. Duty, honor, and country. Whether in the classrooms, on the training ranges, in the barracks, or on the fields of friendly strife, our cadets continue to demonstrate excellence and the winning matters mindset, doing the right things the right way every day. And you can be proud of all they are accomplishing. Most importantly, character development is still our #1 priority here. Aligned with Army initiatives, we continue to emphasize a culture of character growth, where character is woven throughout all aspects of the leader development experience. and every member of the West Point team has a role in developing character in these future leaders. Cadets learn the importance of building trust and treating people with dignity and respect to build cohesive and winning teams. At the very core of our holistic approach to character development is the recent establishment of the Character Integration Advisory Group to elevate the importance of character development and better integrate and synchronize our character development efforts across the entire enterprise. The group's director is a member of our board of directors at the Academy and is my direct principal advisor for character development. Establishing the CIAG raises the character development program to the same level as our academic, military, and physical development programs, and reinforces our commitment to developing leaders of character. Character development is critical to Army readiness, and we remain committed to building and developing great and honorable leaders. We took a major step forward in our USMA 2035 infrastructure modernization efforts with the groundbreaking of the Future Cyber and Engineering Academic Center, or CIAC. This new center, when completed, represents a quantum leap in how we deliver engineering education here, equipping our graduates to lead, fight, and win on the battlefields of the 21st century and beyond. Our efforts this year include the first of a 4-phase renovation plan for the barracks at Camp Buckner, continued renovation of Bradley Barracks, and kicking off a long-term academic building upgrade program with the assembly of the Patton Swing facility and the start of renovations at Cullum Hall. Of course, none of this would be possible without you. Each of you plays a critical role in our mission of developing leaders of character, whether through supporting the Margin of Excellence programs that sustain our preeminence, or sharing the West Point story in your communities, and helping us identify and recruit the high-quality and diverse candidates who will serve as our Army's future leaders. As we celebrate Founders Day, we celebrate the strength of the Long Gray Line, its resilience and timelessness. Each of you not only serves as a link to the past for today's cadets, but also a bridge to the future, as each new class of graduates carries your legacy forward to pass along to future classes, strengthening that unbreakable bond that extends from generation to generation. In closing, let me thank you all for all you do for this Academy and the Corps of Cadets. We truly appreciate your support and passion. Together, we will continue to develop leaders of character who live honorably, lead honorably, and demonstrate excellence. Happy Founders Day. Go Army, beat Navy.
It is now my great pleasure to introduce the 40th Chief of Staff of the Army, General James McConville, Class of '81, who graciously agreed to be our guest speaker for the second year in a row. His message will tell us about the Long Great Line, his initiatives, and the true celebration for the best of us. Go Army, beat RMC and Air Force.
Hello and happy 218th Founders Day. Today we celebrate the incredible history and legacy of the United States Military Academy. Let's start with congratulating our Black Knights for winning the Commander-in-Chief Trophy. Winning matters, and our team played well and they fought hard to win. I'm proud to be a United States soldier and a graduate of the class of 1981, Strength as One. Our West Point history is one full of distinguished graduates that have impacted the nation in the military, in public service, and in industry. And we have allies and partners as graduates that are doing the same all around the world. I'm honored to recognize a few distinguished graduates. Our new Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, class of 1975, our first African American Secretary of Defense, and an outstanding leader that I'm honored to serve with again. General Abe Abrams, class of 1982, commanding United States Forces Korea. General Scott Miller, class of 1983, who's leading our troops in Afghanistan. General Paul LaCamera, class of 1985, commanding our forces in the Pacific. And General Joe Martin, our Vice Chief of Staff of the Army in the class of 1986. Our old grads continue to lead our Army and contribute to our nation's defense with their outstanding character, competence, commitment, and care. This Founders Day, I'd like to celebrate and thank everyone here for your commitment to service. No matter where you've come from, and no matter where you are today, all of you have walked in a long gray line and are committed to the values of duty, honor, and country. I'm very proud of what our Army has done over the last year as we have faced challenges that have impacted our nation. During the COVID-19 pandemic, our Army scientists supported national vaccine, therapeutic, and testing efforts. We have West Point graduates who have been working in hospitals, developing treatments and tests, leading and supporting frontline workers during the COVID pandemic. Grads like Alex Gorski, class of 1982, chairman and CEO of Johnson & Johnson, leading his team to develop a vaccine candidate. And Kimberly Jung, class of 2008, who helped create a solution to the ventilator shortage during the pandemic. The Army Corps of Engineers, led by Lieutenant General Todd Semonite, and now by Lieutenant General Spellman, aided mayors and governors in developing emergency treatment facilities. And our Army medical and operation units provided urgently needed support across the country. Our Army units, with old grads in the ranks, also provided significant aid to countless American communities, including responding appropriately to civil unrest, hurricanes, wildfires, and floods. I have seen extraordinary people during extraordinary times working together to make things better. There is no doubt that as retirees, veterans, and leaders, you continue to answer the call to service and to better our communities and strengthen our nation. I do not take for granted the support we have from the American people, and it helps when we have stewards of profession like you to represent what is great about America and what is great about our Army. Thank you to all the members of the West Point Society of Washington, D.C. and the National Capital Region for everything you do to support our Academy, our graduates, and our future. People first, winning matters, and we remain Army strong. Beat Navy.
Thank you, sir, for your leadership. To our friends and family, current cadets, cadet candidates who heard the call, thank you. To those who are no longer here, let us celebrate in safety and comradeship. May it be said, well done, be thou at peace. Please join in singing, along with the West Point Glee Club, the Alma Mater. As we close this evening, I hope this video enlivens your spirit and reminds you that while we're not together celebrating our fancy attire, we can still be connected and can still celebrate together in other ways. Please join us in a virtual toast. Tag the West Point Society of DC on your favorite social media platforms with hashtag DC Founders Day 2021. I raise my glass to your health and happiness, and then in the immortal words of our oldest living graduate and society member, Colonel Ray Renola, class of 1940, go Army, beat Navy.
Go Army.